Thank you very much. Thank you for introduction and thanks for warm welcome. Um, I'm gonna start with what Paralelni Polis is not, because you already have the experience you went through. So what Paralelni Polis is not. Even though we run a coffee and co-working space, it's not any commercial entity. It's not any entrepreneur stuff. It's not commercial company. It's also not any scientific hub or scientific organization, even though we run an institute. We are not any media, even though we have media hub. It's also not any conventional non-profit organizations, because in Czech Republic it's quite normal that all non-profit organizations are funded by state, at least in some part, and receive some public subsidies and funding. What Paralelni Polis is, and you probably didn't realize it when you entered, it's ongoing art project. Did you know that? Who didn't know that Paralelni Polis is an art project? Nobody. Great. So, how it was born? The art collective that is behind Paralelni Polis, and I'm a proud member of that collective, is called Stohoven. And it's considered to be a guerrilla art group doing different interventions in public space, media space, and other kinds of spaces. The very liquid group, which had tens of members during the time of existence, began its activities in 2003. And since that time, we have performed around 10 projects, and Paralelni Polis is one of them. Each project somehow imprints to the following, and what was before Paralelni Polis was a first living experience when artists and people from different backgrounds like mine, like I'm basically a lawyer, or at least at the time when we were establishing Paralelni Polis, I was not much more than a lawyer. We had first experience with hackers. Today it's a very overused term, but this experience with hackers opened totally new areas of interest for the art group. And in 2012 we have performed an art project which was called Moral Reform. Moral Reform was based on very simple technology called SMS spoofing. We got numbers of members of parliament and government and presidential office, and we created a theatrical play where all these politicians were writing each other different text messages, and they were calling each other to join some more reform. You can go through a little web app that maps all this project on our website. But what was important on this project was that thanks to the hackers in the group, we've managed to do it, even though it was technically quite not so easy. And we used cryptocurrencies to buy some anonymous accounts to be able to perform that. And we had some first experience with something that is called Bitcoin. In 2012, it was really something new that you couldn't find much information about, at least in Czech language. And it was something that was dedicated only to a couple of nerds who were even able to download and run some wallet, which was also not that easy at the time, because you had to at least know how to work with the command line. In 2014, we've attended Bratislava and the local hackerspace Progress Bar, where we get lots of inspiration because there were regular talks and lessons about crypto technologies, about encryption, secure communication, etc., etc. And we wanted to have something similar in Prague. So we started to search for some small flat, like 100 square meters, not so expensive to be able to cover the rent and so on. But one day we have found the house that is on the that welcomes you when you come. And from this point, everything changed, and we've realized that it doesn't have to be only small hackerspace, but we can use this beautiful building to build something more. And we can not only make another small place for tiny community of geeks that are interested in the topics and that already are in the topics somehow involved, but we can make something like embassy, some think tank that makes these topics much more available to wider public. So when we were going through the house, it was like the house was telling us what should be there. Like when we entered, like, wow, this should be a coffee, and it's still there. We went to the first floor and we were brainstorming, like, this is a good place for some co-working space where people will really make the projects real. They can really sit here all day long and work on the projects, and it's there. And on the top floor, we said, okay, here will be the room for lessons, conferences, hackathons, whatever. And there is this Institute of Cryptoanarchy. We are kind of activist group, so we are not only like ultimate hobbyist, but we always search for some further message behind our activities. So the topic of Paralelni Polis basically is how we can use these crypto technologies to protect and to defend against authoritarian tendencies in states that are obviously spreading all around, no matter how developed democracy you choose. You can go to the most developed democracies or to the developing countries, but anywhere you can see very similar pattern of increasing authoritarian tendencies, regulations, more surveillance, etc. So this is one of the topic. Another is that we are still cut in our personal liberties, but the crypto technologies open us new ways how we can protect, how we can extend our personal liberties. So we wanted to bring ideas how we can achieve that. And of course, we were totally fascinated by all peer-to-peer technologies, beginning with living experience with torrenting from 90s, ending up with peer-to-peer trades, markets, etc., enabled by cryptocurrencies, blockchain, etc. So the idea basically was to create a hackerspace, but it overgrown to much wider size, and some of us consider the whole house as kind of a hackerspace where you can test different ideas. On one hand, in coffee, where you find people who just came, went along and came because they wanted to have a coffee and even didn't know where they are coming. So you can test how they react, how they are able to cope with your new idea, whether are they able to even get it or not. Or you can search for a community that will help you to work on your project. you can start a meetup. You can use the facilities to create something physical, etc. So it's very open, and it's basically even so open that another Paralelni Polis are now in other cities. First was in Bratislava, opened about a year ago, and now recently Paralelni Polis in Barcelona, to be exact, Polis Paralela is going to be opened in upcoming months. So it's even open brand, and anybody can join and build or join us and build the same or something similar in local conditions. I would like to point out the two names that we use, the two brands. One is Paralelni Polis, and the second is Institute of Cryptoanarchy. Why Cryptoanarchy? For us, it was a very inspirational term, especially when we read through Cryptoanarchy Manifesto, written by Timothy C. May, who was an old school hacker from the early 90s. And if you read his manifesto from like 1991 or 1992, you can see there a very clear idea and vision of future that is now happening, because Timothy C. May predicted that he said one day the internet will be a surveillance tool, one of the biggest, and the only way how we can protect our privacy will be strong encryption that will enable us to communicate totally privately. He predicted cryptocurrencies. He said that there will be independent currencies for online trade. He predicted that internet as a surveillance tool by design will create pressure for anonymization and anonymization networks that are in place, like Tor or I2P or others. And these together will create totally new social venue, new social structures that will be based on anonymous players and anonymous actors. They will have totally different ways to regulate the relationships that we can see on crypto markets, like decentralized crypto markets, of course, well known for trading drugs and so. But what is interesting is the how they really work, the techniques, how they work. It's very reliable, and it's spreading. So this term caught us because it's quite provocative. It's got the anarchy in its name, but when you think about it, it's not any political doctrine. It's more like description of some state of things, of some layers of internet or so. So institute means that it's a place for critical thinking about the phenomena, critical discovering, and so on. Concerning the crypto anarchy and anything that can be related. How we achieved that? We basically started with two very simple tools that are used by, or models that are used by hackers. One is a hackerspace, and second is a hackers congress. Those are two basic forms of organizing. And we started in 2014 with first Hackers Congress. In 2 weeks, there will be the 6th Hackers Congress taking place here as well. So you are heartily welcome. There are still some under-table tickets some people can't come and so on. So if you don't have yours, write us, we will manage some. Otherwise it's sold out. And then we started a program similar, but not totally, like Hackerspaces. The term Paralelni Polis. Paralelni Polis is a very almost unknown concept born during communism in 70s and 80s here in Czech Republic or Czechoslovakia. And it was a political and philosophical concept that tried to describe how the social venue of dissidents, people who fought against the communist regime, organized themselves. Paralelni Polis means some parallel social structures that basically don't fight against the governing regime, but they try to create as much independence and inner freedom within smaller circles as possible. There are described pillars like independent culture, independent education, independent basic economy that is not under control of the state. And this term, of course, was related to the realms of 70s and 90s, of the pre-internet era. Let's say the last era without internet. And we said, let's make something like Paralelni Polis 2.0 and update it to conditions and tools we have today. And let's help society to realize that maybe we will need very soon, or maybe we already are in problems that, and we only don't realize it. But we will need such tools to defend and protect against authoritarian tendencies of states that are obvious. Here in Czech Republic, especially, like it's like last 3-4 years, it's really like exponential growth. Those who run any Bitcoin related business can tell you how many regulations they have to pass, and there are still more and more of them. So the state does a lot of puts a lot of effort to limit anything that is not under its control, and I think it's a tendency that will grow in upcoming years even faster. So I hope, and that's why I work as a volunteer since the very beginning in Paralelni Polis, is that I hope that Paralelni Polis will give people different ideas how can they keep their privacy, keep their freedom, and how to spread it to others, to their environment, and so. So this is a basic introduction to Paralelni Polis, and you are welcome to go through and visit us anytime. But the best time is during the Congress. And now there is a time for beer.
Thank you, Martin.
Thank you very much.
Actually, now we are going to Paralelni Polis. So this is where we're going to have the networking and beer. So maybe we can do the Q&A session. If someone has a question, they can catch up with you there.
In Polis.
Yeah, I heard they got good beer in Prague. Never tried it before, so.
I hope you will like it.
Yeah, thank you. Okay, thank you, everyone.
Thank you.